welcome to the More Than Mostly Comedy podcast. Once again, I'm David.
I'm Dan.
And you are yourself. We don't know who you are.
Somewhere.
We can't see you, but we know you're there.
Yeah.
We've been watching you. Thanks for joining us again. Today we had a lovely chat with the actor James Payton, which was really nice.
We did. We covered a lot in less than 60 minutes.
Yes.
But we covered a lot.
So we might as well just hand it over to him and past us now, and you can hear it. So we're here for another More Than Mostly Comedy podcast, and we're very lucky to have with us the actor James Payton. Hello, James. How are you doing?
Hello, David. Hello, Dan.
Welcome.
Good evening. How are you?
I think all right, yeah. I mean, it's too soon to tell, but so far so good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
How are you guys?
Not bad. We're
Pleasant,
okay, I think.
yes.
Yeah. I've just sort of, nice and relaxed. Got my slippers on. It's not always nice doing an interview while wearing slippers. If it makes you feel...
Well, it's the time of year as well, isn't it?
Yes.
It's now autumn, winter, isn't it? That's it. It's sun's gone. That's it.
Yeah, cardigans and
Yeah.
the sunshine.
Yeah, exactly. It gets dark at like 4 p.m, all those things. But I'd say thank you for coming to do this with us.
Pleasure.
I've got a question written down here I thought I'd start with. So you've played Hitler twice in Captain America, the First Avenger, and the Monuments Men as well. Is there something we should address here? Or
Sometimes I just have to invade Poland.
we've all been there.
I mean, I think the reality is that anybody looks like Adolf Hitler if you do the moustache and
Yes.
the hair. I hesitate to say that I was just lucky.
Yeah.
But I'm particularly for, Captain America, I'm incredibly fortunate to have been involved in Marvel before Marvel became the Marvel that we all know now.
Yeah.
None of us had any idea that Captain America was going to work anywhere other than the US.
Yeah.
But people seem to like it. So it's lovely to recreate that sort of iconic comic book cover.
Yeah.
Which was released before the US entered the war.
Right.
So it's a political statement. So when people say cartoons are just cartoons,
Yeah.
well, yeah, they are, but they can give you a message or something.
What's the story behind getting the role in Captain America? Because in my head, your agent called you and said, "We think you'd make a great Hitler," but I don't think that's how it happened, is it?
Yeah.
No, it's because I'm really, really right wing.
Yeah. There we go.
Preaching to the converted. We really are. Yeah.
I think someone will just take that clip.
Yeah.
That's the promo.
Fine.
It's quite in vogue at the moment, to be fair. So
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind. It's whatever. Everything's left or right, isn't it?
Yeah.
I auditioned for a different bit. I knew Joe Johnston from doing The Wolfman, so I was Anthony Hopkins' stand-in reader on The Wolfman. And when they came over to the UK to do Cab, which was called Frostbite when we were shooting it, they said, "Will you audition for this bit?" So I said, "Yeah, sure." So they taped me for this bit, and Joe saw it and said, "Oh yeah, James can do that, great." So then you go through the process of sort of having a haircut and a shave. So I was shaved down to a moustache and put in a 1940s suit and slicked hair, and then I went to show Joe. Meanwhile, sort of walking on set past everybody I knew, and everyone laughing, saying, "Ha, you look like Adolf Hitler."
Brilliant.
They're not laughing now.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, they said, "How do you feel about playing Adolf Hitler?"
Yeah.
And I was delighted.
I think that's the only response, isn't it?
Yeah, because I knew that it was a thing. So I was more than happy. So it all stemmed from sort of looking after Tony Hopkins on The Wolfman and being asked back, and Joe knowing that I was an actor, they said, "Oh, let's throw this loser a bone." And I've been milking it ever since.
It's a confusing metaphor. Milking a bone is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work. Fires stuff.
It's a lovely little part, a little bit to do in the film as well. It's just a lovely sequence, and it looks really nice as well. We were saying you kind of remind us of Kevin Eldon with a bit of the guy from Sparks thrown in there. It's got that.
Honestly, I get Kevin Eldon all the time.
Really?
When I was younger, I used to. People that I would know that I'd worked with.
Yeah.
Ivan Kay, Ivan Kay was in the Green Grass and Vikings, and
right, yeah.
Lovely man. I did a show with him that never went anywhere. Anyways, he was at some sort of showbiz party and saw me and came up and said, "I thought you were really funny in our show." And I looked at him like I didn't have a clue what he was talking about. because it wasn't me, it was Kevin Eldon.
Okay.
So yeah, that happened. But yeah, I mean,
there are worse people to be compared to.
There are. I wish him all the very best.
Without staying on the Hitler thing for too long, did the second one come about in any reason because of the first, or is it just purely a coincidence? I guess just castability.
I've no idea. No idea. Maybe. I never really thought about it, truth be told.
Yeah.
I'm just in it for the money and money and chicks. That's all, and the drugs.
Yes.
The money, the chicks, the drugs.
How's that going?
The chance to be Hitler.
And the Epstein parties and all of that.
Doing a quick steer away. How did you start out? Did you always want to act? What was the sort of route?
Yeah. So I loved doing it when I was at school. I loved, I think probably as we all did, we liked the attention, and not just getting attention for attention's sake, but doing something to make people feel something, presumably laugh a lot of the time. So I always liked doing that in school. And then when my father died when I was 12, I remember the day, as you tend to remember those sort of days. So I remember the day that he died in the morning. And in the afternoon, I was sort of absentmindedly flicking through TV channels and happened upon this film. This was when you flicked to the television by getting up and pressing the button on the television.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was sort of half watching this film that was made or released in 1950 called Francis, which starred Donald O'Connor, who's best known for the Make 'Em Laugh dances, Singing in the Rain.
Oh yeah, of course.
And this movie is about a talking mule, a talking donkey. Called Francis. And I was watching that, and I found myself laughing. I thought, how am I laughing?
Right.
When the worst thing I could imagine has just happened to me, how am I laughing right now?
Yeah.
I want to do that. And it was sort of years later, because I remember specifically that moment, thinking, how is this happening? That's what I want to do.
Right.
And then had no idea. I was 12 years old. I didn't have any. My parents weren't in show business or anything, so. I sort of went through school all the while thinking, this is what I want to do. But, sort of film and television and whatnot. I went to university to study something else. And I use the word study quite loosely. I got to Douglas.
Okay.
But it might be because I wasn't trying. And then sort of, once I'd left, I thought, okay, well, I need to start taking it seriously. So I moved to London and started saying yes to any old shit. And I was obnoxiously terrible in a lot of things that nobody ever saw, which was good. And now I'm obnoxiously terrible in quite a few things that people have seen. So,
was that a lot of film and TV back then, or did you do any theatre at that starting out?
I mean, I did a bit of street theatre. What they call site specific.
Right. Yeah.
We're in East London, and I'm playing Chaplin.
Sure.
I did a Chaplin met Gandhi when Chaplin. I mean, it actually happened, and I played Chaplin. And an H.G. Wells thing. So we did these things, and it was and because I was working in film and television as a stand-in reader, so I'm doing the offlines when we don't have the actor. That's where I like to think that I learned my knowledge and craft is by being there and seeing what it's really like.
Right.
Not sort of the fluffy talk that people say. One has to feel it, darling.
Right.
Because when it's 10 to 6 and you've got to get this shot, otherwise it's going to cost $5,000 in overtime.
Yeah.
And you've got to pay the dialogue, you better fucking get it right. I mean, I don't get it right, but that's neither here nor there. At least I know that I won't get it right. So yeah, to me it was, I just said, I think I must have either insanity in my own head or pure bloody mindedness that I refused to give up on my childish dream.
Yeah.
That's great though. That's amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I may never work again. I'm aware of that, and I've made my peace with it.
But to be fair, I mean, you've done a lot of work, so I think the chances are you'll still be working.
Yeah.
No, I hope so. Thanks. It's honestly, it's the last sort of 3 or 4 years of really being the best of my career in terms of sort of the type of work that I've picked up and the amount. But you 1 minute you're sweeping the streets, and the next minute you're re-sweeping the streets. But it's long may it continue. It's down to my agent and the work that she's done, and it may be in part to the pandemic, which was sort of a major reset in my own head.
Yeah.
Where I was going. So yeah, I think it's just sheer bloody mindedness. You know, it's like with anything, any sort of creative endeavor. It's insane. Why on earth would you put yourself in that position?
Right.
Yeah.
Just go and get a job in a bank or whatever people do, and you know, have your 2 holidays a year, and it's all good. So quite why any of us would choose to go into a profession where the failure rate is 97%, say, is insane.
And the lack of control you have over any of it. You know, you do one thing and then that's gone, and you start again.
Yeah, it's the old meat puppet argument. Yeah. Stand there and say these words.
Yeah.
Try not to fuck it up. So yeah, it's a ridiculous thing, but it's also the best thing.
Yeah.
Whilst also being that, you know, it's the worst thing when you can't get arrested, but it's also the best thing when you book that job. It's, you know, as I said, it's the childhood dream come true.
Yeah. We're sort of remaining the kid inside, isn't it? Really, you just still connected with that.
It's about being childlike, not childish. You know, remembering how to play. And I think particularly as adults, it's very easy to forget sort of our own imaginations and how we play. But you know, plays are called plays.
Yeah.
Screenplays, plays. That's exactly what they are.
Yeah.
So it's a real privilege. But the reality is, I got further than I ever thought I would in, you know, some nobody from Cheltenham. You know, do I have to say what my background is because everyone's obsessed with their social background?
Yeah.
You do.
It seems to be the thing.
My parents were working class.
Right.
I don't quite know what that has to do with me particularly.
Yeah.
But people seem obsessed with telling you that they're from a working class background.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But you know, content of character and all that.
Yeah. How did the stand-in work come about in the first place? Because I guess that was like you said, a really great way to learn, because you're always faced by, you know, extraordinary people and in a wonderful sort of circumstance.
Yeah, I mean, I did a film back in the late 90s, and one of the assistant directors remembered me and phoned me up and said, would you fancy being a stand-in on this TV show for the BBC? So I said, I knew what a stand-in did because I'd worked with them. And I said, yeah. So I sort of did this TV thing for the BBC, and I think I was paid about £89 a day.
Right.
I was back in the 90s. And of course, back then it was a BBC artist contract because you were a lighting stand-in, so they counted it as an artist.
Yeah.
So for years after, I got sort of royalties from people buying DVDs in Gibraltar.
Right. Which is nice, always nice.
Yeah, and I like the experience of doing it, and you sort of over the years you sort of pick up other jobs.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those, like with most jobs, it's how much you put into it and how much you take out of it. So really all it is it's paying attention. So I'm watching one artist, seeing what he does in this particular scene, at what point he moves, what he turns, and all those sort of things, and then what changes. So I really enjoyed that sort of technical element of working with, you know, camera and sound and the DOP and the people that you have sort of making these shows. And then obviously doing the offlines. You know, they said, well, James is an actor, he can do the offlines, which again gives you an opportunity to work with. You know, I looked after Robert Downey Jr. a couple of times, Christoph Waltz, Anthony Hopkins, Viggo Mortensen, James McAvoy, you know, a whole bunch of names down the years.
Yeah.
And you can't watch these people and not learn. So that's what I did. And you know, so I was in that for 20 odd years.
Right.
Until I got to the point of like, I think I'm done.
Right.
With what I can take from this. And also, you know, suddenly you get busier doing other stuff. So
I've always wondered with reading in lines, do they want a full performance, or they just want you to deliver it as you, or are there it does vary from film to film?
Yeah, it sort of varies from film to film. We did a film called Life, Jake Gyllenhaal movie, back in 2016, I think we did it. And they were all on a spaceship. So they're all on comms, and they're all in different parts of the ship. They're all on comms talking to each other.
Right.
So we can't have everybody in all talking. So they built these sound boxes, which we sit in with a monitor and hands on and a microphone. So then I deliver the lines for Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Reynolds, Hiro Sanada, Aaron Bakari. But of course, they're all 4 different actors with 4 different voices.
Yeah.
So I've got to do the accent,
Oh, so you're doing them all at once?
So everybody can tell who's speaking.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, Hero is Japanese.
Okay.
And he's got this, he has this wonderful breathy voice. So I thought, well, fuck it, I mean, as well.
Yeah.
So I did it. And I remember Hero coming up to me, he said, James, were you in the box this morning? I said, I was, Hero, yeah. He said, did you do me? I did. Can I hear it? So I did it for him, and he said, it's really good.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
So, yeah,
That's
it was because you're just doing an impersonation, like, if you're Irish or Scottish or American or whatever.
Yeah.
So sometimes there's always a performance element of it because you have to give something. You can't just stand there and go, I love you, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. You sort of have to give them something, but without making the whole scene about you.
Yes.
Sure.
But if you give them something, at least they have something to react off, whether or not
that makes sense.
But it was fascinating for that reason and for the technical experience of working with, cameras and directors and all that sort of affair. But it was a great learning process. But again, it's very easy to sit around all day and wait for your time to be called on set.
Yeah.
But if you're good, you know when you're supposed to be on set, and you know what next shot's coming up, and how many shots we're going to need to cover this scene, because you've got that experience. Okay, well, we want an over the shoulder, so then we have to do another over the shoulder on the other person, then we do a wide, and then there'll be an insert of the hand, and that might go to second unit, but so we get 3 shots, and it's about half an hour per setup for a movie, something like that, and then we'll be out by 6 o'clock.
Right.
But so fascinating, the sort of the mechanics of everyday filmmaking. Yeah.
It's almost like the best way for you to learn, really, because
it's a great learning experience.
To be so close to it and, have the time and not be the entire focus, but also watching all these and working with these amazing people. It seems like the best way to do it. Really.
Yeah. I mean, certainly for me it was. I mean, I know people obviously go to film schools and all that sort of thing and learn to do the sort of standard way of making movies or whatever it is that they do there. But it's like when you drive. When you learn to drive, you learn how to put it into first gear and second and get up a hill and reverse around a corner and all that. But you really learn to drive when you're on the road in real situations. That's when you learn.
Yeah.
So you might learn the mechanics of it, but the reality is, the reality of doing a job like that for 6 months, where you have no life aside from the people that are with you on set every day.
Right.
So fascinating process.
And obviously, I mean, you're very many years into all the stuff you've done now, but also seeing the sets and seeing all of that. I mean, that's, again, for the kid inside, that's just amazing.
Yeah. But I did the 3 Fantastic Beasts movies covering Johnny and Jude and Dan Fogler and those guys. And obviously the sets were done by production designer Stuart Craig.
Right.
He did all the Harry Potter films. And Stuart, he died last week, I think.
Oh, really? Oh.
But an incredible man. You could go into any of the practical drawers or cupboards that opened, you could open them, and there'd be something in it that you could shoot on.
Right.
Wow.
And they all look so beautiful. Because I suppose it's the difference between, well, I don't know so much these days, but it's only the difference between film and television.
Yeah.
Like a big $200 million movie, you can use all this stuff. They've got it because it's going to be on a 40-foot screen. Or nowadays on a 6-inch screen because at 1.5 speed because people have no patience.
Right.
So the sort of the idea of the devil being in the detail, and big TV has that as well. Probably to a lesser degree than these huge movies. But some of the sets I remember we did Atonement up in Redcar Beach. There's a Steadicam shot, sort of a 5-minute Steadicam shot that was shot by Pete Robb, and we had 1,000 extras. All with their own little bit of storyline.
Right.
Our main cast, and they put fronts on the shops to make it look like Dunkirk. And there was a great big boat in the middle of the beach, and horses and all manner of shit going on.
Extraordinary.
You can walk onto that set, and you're like, oof.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's the real sort of Disneyland. Stuff. It brings out the child in you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wonderful stuff.
When you were you appeared in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, is that the correct film?
Yeah. I'm still milking that one.
And why not?
Obviously, by then you obviously knew it was big franchise, I would imagine. How was that experience?
Yeah, so what was that, 2006?
Right.
So I got a phone call saying, "Oh, David Yates wants to see you at the studio tomorrow for a screen test for the new Potter. Just a little thing. Can you come in?" And I said, "No, I'm busy." Because I was doing Atonement.
Right.
So we were shooting nights. We were up in King's Lynn and then we were driving up to Grimsby.
Right.
And they phoned back the next day and said, "I don't think you understand. David wants to see you, only you, for this. So please come to the studio." So I spoke to the first AD of Atonement, I did maybe 10 movies with over the years. And he said, "Yeah, it's fine, just go. I'll tell him you're sick." So I went down to Leavesden, to now Warner Brothers Studio, did this sort of scene to see what we could do in this short time to see if we could get it across what we wanted to get across. Great, got the job, then had to go all the way up to Grimsby to do a night shoot on Atonement. So I was up for sort of 2 days.
Right.
Because we'd done a day and then I went back and then I went up. And the last couple of hours, that's when you start seeing stuff that isn't there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I thought, well, that's a nice thing. It might be a little sort of a career boost. But little did I think, nearly 20 years later, I'd still be sort of traveling the world. I'd still be hosting a music tour with the music across the globe. 2022, Universal Studios got in touch because they were doing this epic universe in Florida. And they said, would James be interested in reprising for the gags that they've got? So we said, yeah, of course. So we went back in 2022 and donned the old tank top.
Wow.
And did some bits. And if you go to the Florida thing now, there's me and Alice pulling some faces in portraits. And
it's amazing.
That's amazing.
It's bonkers after all these years that people still love it, because it's one movie for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people still...
It's so big.
Yeah. So, again, I made more money off the back of it than I ever made from it.
Yeah.
Do you still get asked to go to conventions? And
yeah. I've been to the US many times, all over the UK. I think I'm going to France in October to do one.
Wow.
Yeah, it's it's mad.
Yeah, it is mad.
Genuinely mad. Yeah, I'm never gonna knock it. People still love it.
Yeah.
Why would I not give the same energy that they give me?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's great, and maybe they'll watch the other stuff that I've done.
Yeah. But to be connected with something that so many people have such a warm feeling about and love, it must be really extraordinary. And to still, like you say, just how to still have it doing its thing.
It really is. Because actors just want to work, really, and they want to try and do good work and stuff that people like and stuff that people see. But most importantly, to give maybe someone that feeling that I got when I was a boy, or any one of us got when we were kids.
Yeah.
And something like Potter, which is a huge, huge franchise that made billions of pounds in the world. It still doesn't feel sort of very real to me, even though I know people from those movies, but I don't think of them as people from those movies. I just think of them as people that I know.
Yeah.
But it is lovely that that people are still interested. Nobody talks to me about the look of love.
Damn them.
So it's nice. It's nice that and it's good. From my kids when I slipped off the mortal coil.
Right.
They can show their own children.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's a nice thing to have, I think. That, I was on this planet for, let's say, I live until 150.
Obviously.
Can you imagine? God, that's so boring as fuck.
It would be boring, right?
It's you kind of think, oh well, I wasn't. There's how many billion people on the planet, and I did something that some people liked. Because all fame is that more people know who you are than you know. So by that, I reckon your postman's famous.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Fame is sort of a meaningless concept. If my mum knows who you are, then you're famous. If my mum says who, then you're not.
Yeah,
that's true.
Which happens so frequently when the sort of clash of cultures, and they're just like, oh, okay, no, it means nothing. Okay, because my mum doesn't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's a silly concept. It's sort of part of if you become successful, it's part of the territory.
Yeah.
But ultimately, when you go home and you close the door, it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
You still have to pay the butler and the tailor and the club, don't you?
Which is a real pain. Yeah, keeping that upkeep.
People have no idea, David.
Also, like we clocked, you were in the film Creation Stories, the film about Alan McGee, playing Tony Blair. And again, you're so confronted with someone that everybody knows. How was that as an experience? And particularly as well, I suppose, because it was more current. Hitler has a sort of distance with it and an image that is almost unreal, whereas someone like Blair is it's just literally practically yesterday. How was that to do?
Well, I mean, Nick Moran directed it. Nick is a friend of mine, and we were at a Comic-Con, and he was sort of gearing up to do this movie, and he said, "Oh, James, I reckon you could do a Tony Blair." I said, "Yeah, I get it. There's a sort of similarity." He said, "I need a Tony Blair for my movie." So then they asked me to tape for it. But the tricky thing is, it's one thing to get the Tony Blair who does the speeches. That's how we all know him.
Yeah.
That's sort of...
when these Tories talk about self-made millionaires, they're not talking about the shotgun, that sort of non-conversational thing. So, but to find the conversational sort of element, I was sort of doing a bit of background into it, and I found a telephone call that somebody had sort of spoofed him on a call to try and...
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, the radio, that's what they used to do back in the day. I thought, God, that's interesting. That's how he speaks normally. Of course, Irvin Welsh did the script. Irvin is not a fan of Tony Blair. Alan McGee, he said, Tony's a friend of mine, in as much as you can be friends with these people. So our Tony Blair was very much Tony Blair 2.0, with sort of these great big white teeth, this mullet.
Yes, the hair is quite impressive.
Really impressive.
It's something, isn't it? And I was a few pounds heavier, shall we say, back then. And I got a message from the producer saying, so Tony Blair wants to meet you.
Wow.
Alan said to me, he's not going to fucking want to meet you after he sees what you've done in the movie, is he? Needless to say, that didn't happen.
Right.
Because I think he must have, but it's sort of an ego thing for them.
Yeah.
Meet the person that played him.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's been plenty of actors that have played Tony, but maybe not quite one like I did it.
Because I saw in the film Who is James Payton, which followed you for a year, and there was some of the Creation Stories thing, and you had, like you say, the teeth and the sort of internal prosthetics. Does that sort of stuff help with a thing like that, or does it sort of like distance it from yourself more, particularly when you see yourself more as Blair?
Yeah, it was helpful because you were sort of in the makeup mirror and you're sort of seeing this thing happen in front of you, this sort of parody of Blair happen in front of you. And then I sort of had a key phrase to get the voice. So then I was
we're very sad about the death of Princess Diana.
But sort of because it's a strange, he has a strange cadence to his voice, a strange way of speaking.
Definitely.
And because it's all very political, it's all this and it's like a bad actor. Maybe that's why I got the job.
That makes sense.
But he's a bad actor because it's all sort of telegraphed. It's all very much performative. Like when you see any of these sort of particularly UK politicians, it's they're trying to be cool.
Yeah. Which always fails, pretty much.
Oh, it's just embarrassing.
And trying to remember lines. That's what it comes across as. They're just trying to remember lines badly,
It's sort of insincere sincerity.
Yes.
Right, yeah, definitely.
That idea of you don't have to do the voice, you just have to pull the face.
Even right down to that thing with the hand, the not pointing. The not pointing. That is all weirdly
media training, and if you punctuate on education,
and then stand back and let the acclaim of the crowd wash over you.
Yeah.
Fascinating to do it.
Yeah,
definitely a challenge to try and make him feel because they cut quite a bit out of the movie because some of it was a little close to the bone.
Right, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Obviously, Jimmy Savile turns up.
Yes.
Played by Alistair McGann.
Right.
And, he was great.
Yeah.
And he was telling us stories, before we shot. And then the scene that we did around the tape, because this really happened,
Yeah.
Alan and his wife and Judi Dench, I believe, were invited to Chequers with Tony and Cherie. This is an event, and then Jimmy Savile turned up. It happened. It's not something that we made up.
Yeah.
And so we had this scene around the dining table, which went on longer on the day, but they had to cut some of it back because let's just say there's a little bit of improv that happened.
Okay.
That Nick loved, and it was in the movie up until the very last moment when they said, we're not going to get away with it.
Right, okay. Right. Yeah.
Nick came running on and said, I can't use it, but it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah. You saying the thing about politicians trying to look cool. There's a picture I've seen of Boris Johnson with a guitar, which I know is more the Tony Blair thing, with a capo, but his hand on the wrong side of the capo. Oh, yeah. So he's like forming the chord before.
It's just this desperation. It's this desperation to be liked, and you're not there to be liked.
No.
Politicians, if you're likable, that's great, but your job is not to be liked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your job is to supervise the running of the country. I don't need to I don't need them to be my friend.
No.
But we've sort of taken it on from America, this sort of personality.
Yes.
If you get someone with a good personality, and Boris is great fun. He's flying down zip lines and he's kicking over German footballers, and that goes down great in the press.
Right.
But this bumbling buffoon sort of caricature that he put on himself.
Yes.
People fell for it because politicians are generally quite boring.
Yeah.
As they should be.
Yeah, as they should be. Yeah, exactly.
And it was quite interesting, like watching some of the COVID commission stuff, and when you saw Boris Johnson when he was in that situation, because then he can't really sustain the bumbly thing, and you start to see the sort of view behind the character, the sort of irritation that he's being asked these things, the narcissism.
That's exactly the word, character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because, they're all playing a character. Rishi Sunak did it, the 15 people we had after him, before him, whoever they were. Nobody remembers. The current incumbent, they all try to be, they're all dressed in these fabulous suits and, look great and have had all the media training, but you just look at them and you go, nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop trying not to be, just embrace
Be
it.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, or previously, the previous government, you'd go Lord Snooty.
Yeah.
Right.
Or the perpetually moist, what was his name? The guy who looks like he's always a bit moist, who's married to Sarah Vine.
Oh, Michael Gove. The man who can't even drink a glass of water normally. There's pictures of him.
You just feel like he needs to be wiped off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strange. Where do they find them?
Yeah, I know.
Do they grow them? Is there like an island we don't know about?
Yeah.
Just eaten. Just eaten.
Yeah, basically just eaten. Yeah.
Just eaten.
We've got this greasy one. Yeah.
Chuck him out.
Yeah, need a greasier one. Imagine that household though, Michael Gove and Sarah Vine. That's an effort.
And they got divorced, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know which one of those people is worse.
Yeah. It's a close run thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Jacob Rees-Mogg, there's another one.
There is another one.
I'm far, I don't know the man. I've never met the man, but I've seen enough of the man to know that when he has sex through a sheet.
That's a horrible mental image.
That is a horrible mental image.
Yeah. Who knew?
But I don't wish these people any ill, but you do look at it from the outside and go, this is laughable.
Yeah.
These characters that they come up with, these ridiculous, and also, those sort of people who've grown up in extreme privilege.
Yes, yeah.
I have no idea. My question is always, if you live in London, have you ever taken a night bus because you had to?
Yeah.
That's my question, and that's going to tell you a lot. I mean, if you haven't taken a night bus because you had to, that's fine too. But there's a sort of have you been down to your last few pennies?
Yeah.
Because you're sort of looking for sort of an empathy. Do you understand what it's like?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's easy to say, oh yeah, I get it. It's difficult to be poor, isn't it?
Yeah.
You go, yeah, difficult. That's the word. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit tricky, isn't it, when you can't pay the rent?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Strange.
That's the Holly Anderson approach, isn't it? We probably should leave this.
We've veered a lot.
Yeah. Much as it's nice to Tory bash, I'm always keen on that.
I mean, the left wing, right wing, when you go, it's that horseshoe thing, isn't it? When you go far enough, either way, then they sort of almost meet.
Yeah.
The same playbook.
True.
And it's the story as old as time.
Yeah.
It's nothing new. It's just we dress it up and we give it different words.
Yeah.
But it's never been as much.
You just have to hope that there's another leader with looks vaguely like you again, so you can get some more work out of it in the future.
I mean, yeah, let's hope so. I mean, I was the same age as Tony Blair was when he became Prime Minister in '97, when we shot Creation Stories. I think 44, I guess. I mean, right. 29.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great fun to do. I remember reading the script and going, "This is the funniest thing I've ever read."
And also written by Irving Welsh. I mean, that's
extraordinary.
And unfortunately, nobody saw it.
No,
because of COVID and it's hard to get people to watch movies that aren't 200 million overblown.
Right.
Yeah.
Once every 3/4 of a second.
Yeah.
David mentioned earlier the documentary about you.
Yes.
Who is James Payton? Could you tell us how that came about and how that was all made?
No, so the documentary Who is James Payton, available now on Amazon Prime.
There we go, and it's very good.
It is.
Thanks very much. I had nothing to do with it. So Oliver Guy Watkins directed it. He is a documentary filmmaker that I've known for 20 years, and we lived together for a while as friends. Not that there's anything wrong with it. And we met because we both worked for a company called Snow Business.
Oh yeah, we clocked this.
Yeah, we were curious about that.
Yeah.
So we do. I don't do it anymore, but it was winter effects for film and television and events and all those sort of things. Anyway, me and Ollie were living together, and I think I'd come back from a Comic-Con, and he said, "I'd never seen you sort of on that buzz before." Right. I thought, God, this might be quite interesting. So he said, "How do you feel about doing a documentary?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm more than happy to do it. The only thing I won't talk about is my dot and my dot."
Yeah. I'd be more specific than that.
This is the worst episode of blank ever.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah. And then we started in 2019, sort of, because the documentary would indicate there's a sort of a timeline, but obviously that it's slightly some of it's out of sequence, but it's about a story, about the journey rather than anything else. And I said to him, "Look, make the film that you want to make. I know you're not going to make me look like sort of an Alan Partridge character."
Yeah.
And it was very much, it was very honest. And I was more than happy sort of speak about my sort of mental health issues and issues of dealing with my father and my flailing career at the time. And, they sort of try and make it go, you think it's all sort of sunshine movies and Hollywood premieres and stuff, but the reality is very, very different.
Right.
As is the money. It can be very good. But let's not get crazy in my position. We just tried to be sort of honest about what I was going through and what I'd been through and what I was going through at that time. But we always tried to be, we tried to be upbeat at the end. But it's not all negative, and James hasn't topped himself. And and then the pandemic hit. I don't know if there was a pandemic a couple of years ago. I don't know if you guys remember.
It didn't come around here. We were right. Yeah.
It was in the papers.
Maybe.
And
I'm in the ISS at the moment, so I was all right.
I have no masks for you.
Yeah.
And I think you go one of several ways. I think during that very, very unusual time, unprecedented, some would argue. You either eat all of the food, buy all of the loo roll, play all of the video games, or you're still working, or you think, this is an opportunity where I can't do anything.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
So what am I going to do with this time that I've been given? So I chose to sort of get a routine. So every morning I got up at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning and I'd exercise for a few hours, trying to lose the baby weight. And here she is. Just sort of trying to get into shape to give myself the best opportunity, trying to look after myself a little better than I had been. And, sort of came out of me going, I feel quite good. I feel quite positive. I feel like I've got a routine. I feel like mentally I'm well.
Yeah.
And then I started booking more.
Right.
And I started doing things that were a bit more interesting. I started doing more sort of American TV and things on Netflix and whatnot. And then it sort of realized that it actually took me 25 years to get to a point where all I had to do to survive as a human being and to pay for all of the things I need to
my responsibilities in this world. It took me 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been just over 3 years where I haven't had to have a real job, if you like.
Right.
Yeah.
Which was always the dream. People say, what do you want to achieve? What does success mean to you? Well, success to me is I just want to make a little bit more than I need.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. And if that's 10 grand a year, great. And if it's £1 million a year, fabulous. It's definitely £1 million a year. If someone could.
Clearly, yeah. I mean, that's just our fee for you for tonight.
I was going to say, it's done tonight. Yeah.
I just want to make a living doing a job that I love with people that are interesting and sort of have fun and not take it too seriously, because that's always a danger in this game. And it took me, as I said, 25 years to get to that point.
Yeah.
And it might still fall apart now, but fuck me, I've had fun doing it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I've been so lucky, and it's brilliant. As I said, I'm just a guy from Cheltenham. You knew nobody, you knew nothing, and through sheer bloody mindedness, has got to just below the middle.
Yeah. You're a good few steps above us, so
Yeah.
Well, one job changes it all,
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of the exciting thing, that it's a really exciting thing. My partner is, she was do you remember the Guest House Paradiso?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
With Rick Mel and Ed Emerson. So Jess, my partner, was the little girl in that, Simon Pegg's daughter in that.
Really?
Oh, right.
Wow.
She's now a grown woman, I should just
to
say.
clarify.
On screen.
It's that linear time thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Don't write in.
Yeah.
And it's sort of more difficult for her because as women there are fewer roles, there are fewer good roles, and there are more actresses.
Yeah.
And she's at an age where she can't play the young ingenue, but she's sort of aging into the sort of the mothers and things. But it's so having that sort of support network of somebody who gets it, not just for me but for her as well.
Yeah.
Is really lovely. And if anyone, I don't know what making it means, but fuck me, if I can make it, a gorilla smoking a pipe can make it. And some of them have.
Yeah. So I need to work on the gorilla pipe smoking act. That's the thing.
There we go.
Yeah. There's lots of other things we'd really like to ask you, but also conscious of time. So perhaps come back sometime and we can talk about the other things.
Yeah, I'd be delighted. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But thanks so much for this. And
My pleasure.
It's been lovely having a chat with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thanks so much. I always bang on about any old shit, don't I?
No,
but thank you. To me, it's because there's sort of everything is behind the curtain in sort of this industry.
Yeah.
And to a certain degree, there should be things behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't necessarily need to know that the wizard is behind the curtain.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think it's important to make it clear to people that this isn't an industry that only people from Eton or wherever can be in.
Right.
This is an industry that, if you've got some sort of talent, you can be in it, but it's not going to get given to you. So you've got to have a core of steel, and you've got to be willing to starve to do it, because the reality is that you might.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck me, what a ride!
Yeah.
What a ball! What a thing to have met the people that I've met, to have been involved in. Like Wednesday, directed by Tim Burton.
Yeah. Amazing.
Tim Burton launching fake crows at my head.
I was going to say, seeing the
That's
pictures.
the bit we didn't get to. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
We should just ask about that quickly, because we kind of have to. What was that experience like? It seems like he's very hands-on.
Yeah.
Yeah, really hands-on. He was lovely. The first AD I'd known from years before said, "Oh, James, have you met Tim before?" I said, "No, but I did work on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for Snow Business."
Right.
He said, "Oh," and I was talking to Alfred Goff, the producer, about it. So I sort of came full circle that.
Yeah.
And he was lovely, and people have this sort of idea that he's weird and crazy, but he's just a really smart, professional, knowledgeable man, and you feel like you're part of the team.
Yeah.
And he twatted me in the head with fake crows. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That is
What a
amazing.
good thing to happen.
Yeah. What a story. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, it's glorious, and it's in the TV show. People can go and watch it.
Yeah. And do watch
and they
it.
let me. So I've got the head cast at home for my eyes being poked out.
Oh, really?
Oh, you kept
So
it
I've got-
amazing.
Yeah, I said, "Do you mind if I keep it?" And they said, "Sorry, what?"
So like taking a doggy bag.
Yeah, I mean, Jess has actually got
Right.
the head cast from Guest House Paradiso.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But is it a bit like when Homer makes the bed for Bart? Is it terrifying when it's just there? Like when you turn the light
just looking
off
at
and
you.
just see it? Yeah.
Yeah, I do talk to it a lot.
Really?
If I've got issues or problems in my life, I ask it
Yeah.
what it thinks, and it always answers me.
I was going to say, it says kill them all.
Yeah.
You could wear it for trick-or-treaters.
Yeah.
I did last year.
Oh, amazing.
Amazing.
Okay.
That's how I answered the door.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, well, thanks so much, James. And yeah, we should do this again. But
Yeah.
Absolutely. I look forward to it. Yeah.
Thanks so much for your time and for joining
thank
us.
you.
It's an absolute pleasure. And thanks, Philippa, Charlotte, of course. Hello, Charlotte.
Oh, we didn't ask her question.
yeah.
Charlotte Broadbent sent in a question, who I believe,
Yes, yeah.
she runs the fan page. If you had to swap bodies with any celebrity in the whole world for a month, who would it be? I like the specific for a month.
Yeah, for a month.
So please apply that.
For a month. And it's definitely for a month. Yes, Bezos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I transfer some of his money.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Or, I mean, that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you could go political with it.
That's where my brain's sort of going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would I? Someone young, someone much younger than me, so I can remember what it was like.
Yeah. That or Kevin Eldon. You could go for
That'll
Kevin Eldon.
Kevin Elton, yeah.
Just because when you stand up, you don't go,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or sit down and go,
Yeah. No,
I think I was born doing that, to be honest.
It's the meme, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good question, though, Charlotte, as ever.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
for that.
thanks, Charlotte.
Lovely. Well, thank you, James. We'll release you now back into the
Yeah.
wild.
Into
But
the
thanks
wild.
for doing this.
Back in my box.
And here's to the next 25 years.
That would likewise, yeah. Anthony Hopkins gave me the best piece of advice ever. I'll tell this very quickly. He said, James, you're an actor, aren't you? I said, I am, Tony. Yeah. He said, all you have to do, James, this is it. Just keep going. That's all you have to do. All you have to do. And he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, he comes up to me and he says, James, you're an actor, aren't you? I said, I am, Tony. Yeah. He said, I saw you in an episode of Keep Up Appearances. I thought you were very good. It's very good. Well done. Just keep going. I said, thank you, Tony. That's very kind. Now, I've never done an episode of Keeping Up with Appearances, but if Tony Hopkins tells me I have,
You say
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
yeah, that's my favorite story.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing. Well, thank you, James. Take care.
All right.
And we'll see you.
pleasure.
Again.
Yeah, just keep going. That's all you have to do. Still might not make me, but fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. Sound advice.
It's a good ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, everybody.
We'll see you again.
See you soon. So that was our chat with James Payton. That was amazing. Very interesting man.
Really interesting man, yeah. And if you do take a look at his IMDb, I mean, not just all the standing stuff as well he's done. He's been working on so many huge films across many years.
It's quite the career, and yeah, amazing. And do watch the documentary if you can, because it really is amazing.
It really is good, isn't it? It's so sort of warm and interesting as well, and yeah, it's a really nice watch.
And we didn't get to his working relationship with Tony Slattery, who was obviously at the Mostly Comedy Club many years ago.
Yeah, that's how it started. Yeah, Tony Slattery came to the club in, I think it was 2019, the Sun Hotel. And funny enough, it was Glyn wasn't there either for that one. He was away doing the tour or something. Yeah, and it was great. And then it just so happened that James came along as someone to sort of do improv with him. And they had another guy, Alan Lear, as well, who sort of toured with him and stuff. Yeah, and it was great. It was really, really good to see. And he's just sort of remained supportive of the club, James that is, and sort of remained from afar. So it's lovely to have a chat with him properly.
Yeah, lovely guy. And is that the most times Hitler's been mentioned in a podcast? This podcast?
Well, there's a few we've cut out previously.
Yeah, of course, we don't need to go into that.
And there was the Mussolini episode as well.
Yeah, and probably more times Kevin Eldon was said than in the Kevin Eldon podcast, maybe.
Yeah. Every time we say his name, he gets paid. So
he gets
good.
royalty, yeah. Good.
But all the things he's been involved in as well, like to do things like playing Blair or even playing and the Captain America thing. I mean, just that one sequence is just a great thing to have done.
And if you haven't seen it, I would imagine most people have it. It's also just very funny.
It is.
The whole thing's
very
and
funny.
iconic and amazing to be part of.
And intentionally funny, like when Chris Evans, Captain America, goes to punch him, but he's about a mile away from him.
That's it. Yeah.
It's very
amazing.
good. Yeah, and also, like I say, seeing the pictures of him working with Tim Burton and stuff, that thing recently, and to see how hands-on it is, and that's someone with such an amazing vision, a whole world that he creates. So to be a part of that, and to to see it back is amazing. It's very, very cool.
And amazing that he's still got the mask. I'm not sure they'd let him keep the mask, because it's on his Instagram. If you see it, it's quite scary. Obviously, in the TV show, it's quite scary.
Maybe just wore it out.
Just maybe, yeah. Just
literally
take it
left. Yeah. I remember there was a story. I think it's Richard Griffiths. Was that the guy that was in With Noel and I and Pie in the Sky many years ago? Yeah. But he was in Sleepy Hollow, and apparently he refused to be on the set when the head, the disembodied head of him, was there because it was just too realistic and too terrifying. That was Tim Burton as well, in fact, wasn't it? But
I think it was. Yeah. I've known that some people will take home like the masks of their head where they've died, but I just think that's just too weird.
Because it's too much like a vision of like some kind of future, isn't it? You don't want to be confronted with that. It must be a bit like if you have yourself done in wax or something, Madame Tussauds. It must just be a bit unnerving to see yourself in 3 dimensions.
In the early days, as you say, there's definitely times in the dark where you forget it's there.
Yeah.
You literally scare the crap out of yourself with yourself. Awful.
Or like someone that you live with just keeps moving it and putting it in different places.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, definitely. Still good stories to tell, though, of all the, so many good stories.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what a career.
In one hand, I'm like slightly jealous, but at the same time, he just really deserves it because he's such a nice guy.
Lovely guy. Good work ethic, good advice as well.
And it shows that it can pay off. And to have stories about Anthony Hopkins and the rest of it, that is kind of ridiculous. That's very,
amazing.
Very cool.
Yeah, good story too as well. So many good stories, all in under an hour. Very, very good.
It's a bargain, this podcast. It's worth sticking around for. If you enjoyed that, hopefully you did, do like and subscribe. And you can also have a listen to a lot of our other episodes. We've done a couple recently with Tony Hawks and Rosie Holt. And there's a good few years' worth of interviews with people like James Acaster and Catherine Ryan and Paul Daniels and the rest of it. So, and also, if you're anywhere near Hitchin in Hertfordshire, come and see the club.
Definitely come. Next one, October. It depends when you're listening to this, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. You might have to insert your own correct timeline.
You could be listening to this in 6 years' time. It was a great gig.
It was a very good
It's a really good gig. You missed out.
But thanks for joining us. And hopefully we'll see / have you hearing us again.
See you soon.
See you soon.